Happiness is born from altruism, and unhappiness from selfishness. Ego is the great misunderstanding of humanity. Most people believe that they cannot exist without their ego. They believe, with touching sincerity, that they are the fruit of their experience and the events that have occurred throughout their lives. But some of the events that have occurred in their existence match up their belief. What appears them to be their identity. The first experience of the ego is that of a toddler holding a rattle. When the toy is taken away from the child, he cries with all his heart, because he has the feeling that this rattle is a part of himself that has just been stolen from him. So it is with the ego. An intense feeling of suffering arises with each situation that contradicts the truth of our experiences. But how could it be otherwise? Everything that has been accumulated must disappear one day. The most solid buildings are themselves subjected to the law of time. So what about our abilities, our memory, and the fragile grace of our facial features? Thus, whoever wants to keep and preserve what is subject to decay will only encounter pain and despair on his way. On the contrary, to share in every moment what is doomed to disappear means living day by day the eternity of love without borders or limits. To share with pleasure what one has with those who need it is to understand the futile value of things and objects, and to taste the nectar of what could never be damaged. That is to say, the thick smoothness of love. To understand that the source of our being offers limitless love is to live altruism. It is to acquire the sublime power to give without ever being tied. Since hate will never end with hate, hate will end with love. He was a man who had been unloved by his mother, beaten by his father, and then abandoned in his early childhood. At the orphanage, the child quickly expressed a violent and aggressive attitude On several occasions, he was caught stealing from stores. After several stay in a reformatory, he was arrested for stealing a car. When he became of age, he attacked the cashier of a grocery store, stealing the cash register and threatening the cashier with a firearm. Leaving prison, the young man settled in a new city, dragging behind him the heavy and disturbing reputation of a selfish past. Every time he went somewhere, whether it was a store or a visit, objects mysteriously disappeared without anyone ever being able to catch him in the act. Weeks passed, and a motorboat moored to the shore of a nearby river mysteriously disappeared. The fearful populace suspected the young man of his heinous action without anyone being able to prove it. One evening, when he was leaving a bar, the young man met a beautiful young woman who had a great affect to him. He turned to her and asked if he could take her dancing one evening. She replied with a shy and a sparkling smile, "Yes, if you are a gentleman." The next day, something unexpected and surprises happened. Early in the morning, boxes filled with objects, the same ones that had vanished several weeks earlier, could be found in front of many shops throughout the city. The motorboat reappeared just as spontaneously as it has disappeared. He took the young woman out dancing, and soon after they were married. He was hired by the young girl's father, who was a local industrialist, first as a simple worker, and then, despite his criminal past, became one of the notable of the region, appreciated and welcomed. This story, known and used by therapists, illustrates the fragile and yet radical trigger that can tip the direction of hate towards love at any time. Hate is both self-hatred and the progressive estrangement from one's true nature. To give credence to the value of objects and matter is to ignore the dazzling power of a true nature. For those who know themselves, nothing is impossible. For those who love themselves and who are able to forgive themselves for the mistakes they have made out of ignorance, the sharing of love is inevitable. And happiness as well.